All right, guys, I said I wasn't going to talk about the election further, and I really don't want to, but there's one more thing I want to say about this election that I think is important to note, and that's how results and looking at how people vote in the election can hide an important distinction between means and ends. Um, so, means is obviously the path you take to arrive at an end. Um, the way you arrive at a certain goal or decision or whatever it is. And ends is obviously that final stage. And when we look at voting results and how people vote, we really just look at the end, right? We look at who they chose, what that end decision was. Kamala or Trump, Republican or Democrat. And I think that hides a lot of really important information that is rooted in the means. So, number one, for example, and Trump is obviously the most, I think, divisive choice, or I guess, I'm trying to think of the right word. Like, if you vote for Trump, it's probably like the most stigma around that. Um, but you have to look at why people are voting for Trump, the means they took to vote for Trump. And it's important to note, like, sometimes the reason somebody votes for Trump can actually be worse than what you think if you just saw that they voted for Trump without knowing a reason. Like, somebody could vote for Trump because they want to kill an entire group of people and they think Trump is going to do that. And in that case, maybe the fact that you don't know the means makes you assume something better about them. But there's also the case, right, that people have long and complicated and often somewhat legitimate reasons for voting for Trump. But the fact that we don't know that and the fact that we just see, oh, yeah, this person voted for Trump actually masks a lot of the humanity in them, right? It masks a lot of the things they went through and a lot of the choices and a lot of the events that they made and went through, experienced to arrive at that end, right? And we're all going to have different. If we really break it down and get into the nitty gritty, we're all going to have different means for arriving at a decision. There'll be similarities, but they're all going to be different. And it's just important to remember that behind every decision somebody makes for Trump, there's going to be a lot of things that constitute the means. And it's important to remember that a lot of those things are probably legitimate. And even if you disagree with the choice, you can probably relate to it and understand it. Even if you disagree with the end, right? You can agree with a lot of the means, but disagree with the end they took to get there. Now, on the other hand, there's another way to look at this, which I think is also interesting, where the candidate is the means, right? So before it was the things that led you to the end of voting for Trump were the means, right? All of the things you experienced, whatever, led you to the end decision, led you to the end to think that Trump is the best candidate. But then there's what does it mean to be the best candidate? Why is this person the best candidate, right? What are they going to do? What is the telos of choosing this candidate? And so in that sense, the Trump or Kamala, Democrat or Republican, or who you choose to vote for, is just a means to reach a higher end. And I think if you look at it in this way, you actually have a lot in common. Because a lot of us really just want, I think, like very simple, basic things. food, water, shelter, economic support, safety, a good family, respect, and a peaceful life. I think that's what we all want, right? To some extent, but we all want those fundamental things, right? Shelter, food, water, good family, some economic support, safety, and peace. And so when you look at it that way, you may disagree with the means they took to reach those things, but you have to recognize that we all really share the same end goal, right? I think very few people out there generally want destruction, poverty, chaos, to be alone, to be hated, all of these things. Very few people want this. Maybe some people do, but very few people want this. And so, viewed in that light, there is cause for unity, and these choices that we make hide a lot of that when we have to pick sides. Because we all want the same thing. We just may disagree on the means to get there. And I think that is a really important thing to keep in mind as we move forward past this election. But that's all I'll say. I'm going to do a song now, which will be in this end page, which I hope you find interesting. It's going to be Where Did You Sleep Last Night by Nirvana. So yeah, that's that. I'll sign off. Subscribe if you like this video, share with others, send me your comments in the comment section, and buenas noches.